Hey, Phil Long family, it's Dr. Scott Uhald here again, and welcome to the July edition of the Wealth of Health newsletter. This month we're going to do something a little bit different. A number of you have asked me about some heart-healthy recipes, something that's easy to do, inexpensive, and we are in my kitchen and we are going to make broccoli chicken stir fry. It cost me about $18 to get all the ingredients, which are right here, and we're going to give you a step-by-step presentation on how to make a really heart-healthy meal that not only you're going to enjoy, but your kids will enjoy it too. I'll be posting this recipe for you all to see so you can see the ingredients necessary and then the step-by-step instructions to prepare this meal. But I'm going to give it my best shot right here, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make the sauce that we will eventually spread over the chicken stir fry. The recipe asks for 1 teaspoon of freshly grated ginger, so that's what we're doing right now. I'm going to put a little dash of minced garlic in there. And not only ginger, but garlic too are also really heart-healthy spices. They're good for your heart, along with capsaicin, some of these hotter spices like cayenne, even black pepper is really good for your heart health. The next ingredient is we need to add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. And you can actually get low sodium soy sauce, which again is better for heart health. The next ingredient is you need 2 tablespoons of hoisin sauce. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. Now we're going to get some sesame oil. All right, once you get this little sauce congealed and everything put together, we're going to set it aside and we're going to use it a little bit later, and we'll be pouring it over the broccoli and the chicken. Now, next on the list is that we need to chop up some broccoli. We need to cut off the little florets and make them bite size, and then we're going to slice these stems a little bit longer so it'll give it a little bit more texture to it. There we did. I've got some broccoli. I cut it up into small bite size pieces. I've also got a couple of the stems broken up so you get a little bit more substance with that. So again, we'll put that off to the side. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a red pepper and a yellow pepper. We're going to cut them out, get all the seeds out on the inside, and then make small slices and then cut them along the edge also, again, so you don't have too big of a piece of pepper. There, and you cut up the peppers into bite-sized pieces just like that, and once again, set it off to the side. All right, now the first thing that we did is we turned on this skillet to medium heat, let it warm up. We put 1 tablespoon of virgin olive oil on there, and the first thing that we did, I probably could have made more of these, but you want to take the stems of the broccoli and put them in first, kind of let them heat up. They're denser. It takes a little bit longer to cook. Then we're going to add the broccoli flowerets and then also the red and yellow pepper. Now, after about 3 to 4 minutes of heating all the broccoli and the peppers up, we're going to pull them out. We're going to set them aside, and then we're going to start preparing the chicken. I've cut up a pound of chicken thighs. And one thing I do want to mention, dark meat, you can see it has more fat in it versus, say, the white meat, the breast meat of chicken. And again, to make it a little bit more heart healthy, we could go with the white meat, but dark meat in chicken actually has a better amino acid profile than white meat. So I prefer dark meat. I like chicken thighs and legs. So we're going to put that in and let this cook for about 3 or 4 minutes until this chicken is cooked through, and that's our next step. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our sauce, we're going to stir it up. I'm going to put it right in the middle of this skillet. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. And you can see that it's actually starting to marble a little bit. It's getting thicker. That's because of the cornstarch. You want to let this sauce kind of cook a little bit until you can see it start to bubble around the perimeter. And when you see that, then the next thing that we're going to do is add back in our broccoli florets and also the red and yellow pepper that we had a little bit earlier. I actually am going to add a little bit more here. I'm going to put a little bit of a purple onion in there. I kind of like onions. Now, one thing that I want to talk about, I've actually got celiac disease. I can't eat gluten, and gluten is just a protein that's found in flour. And so this is a nice alternative. It's called Banza. This is a spaghetti noodle, and it's actually made from chickpeas. There's no flour in it whatsoever, so if you have a gluten intolerance, this is a pretty nice noodle to use instead of a flour-based noodle. So what we do is we got everything boiling. I'm going to take penne chickpea, and again, Banza is the brand. There's a couple of varieties. I'm going to add this. And the one thing I do want to mention when you do cook with something that's made from chickpea is stay on top of it. Do not overcook your pasta because it becomes really mushy pretty quick. So while I'm letting the penne cook for basically our heart-healthy chicken and broccoli stir fry, I want to mention a couple of things. And these things are really relevant to improving your heart health. Number one, we cooked with low sodium today. Keeping salt out of your diet is one of the better things you can do, not only for cardiovascular health, but to keep your blood pressure down or hypertension. I had mentioned earlier about the dark meat chicken versus the white meat. You can always put in white meat chicken, which is lower in saturated fat, because it's saturated fat in your diet that you really want to be concerned about. Not so much cholesterol in your diet, but saturated fat in your diet is what raises your own personal cholesterol, your LDL. So you want to stay low on the saturated fat. One other thing is, I know this is going to be a really good meal, but you want a portion size. Try your best not to overeat. Give yourself some time to digest food, and if you want to come back for more later, that's fine. But overeating is really, really harmful to our health, especially the development of visceral body fat, which is the fat that's around your midsection, and that is highly correlated with heart disease. And as you can see, we didn't really use very much fruit in this particular recipe, but we used a lot of vegetables, bell peppers, onions, broccoli. All that stuff is fresh, and that's the kind of food that you want to put into your diet. Try to limit processed foods. I mean, you could buy this stir fry from a Lean Cuisine or some pre-made meal, but the nutritional value that you're going to get for spending a half an hour prepping this meal and making it is going to be so much better for you than, again, a pre-made meal that you're going to buy at the grocery store and then throw into a microwave.